Hello, welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Sunday to you. I have an itchy left ear. I hope you've had a great day and indeed a fun weekend. And we're going to jump straight into the price action after I've had a little burp. There we go. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart in its, I think, 12th week within the range now, which is really quite spectacular. I'm on my Bybit here, just on a regular scale chart, so it might look a bit unusual if you use a logarithmic chart. I prefer a regular scale because it gives me a bit more of a true perspective over the size of moves. And yeah, as you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12 weeks within the range. The weekly candle on Bybit's going to close very soon. So I'm doing this video quite late. In just 2 hours that will close. And the current price is 68,300. CME has got $1,000 on Bybit at the moment. It closed at 69.5 more or less. So, in fact, more than $1,000. So that's interesting. We'll see if there's going to be a gap on CME and what CME likes to do. It likes to close those gaps. So we'll see. There's a couple of hours left. I'm going to jump straight into low time frames, and you can see that they pick out the range quite nicely. Here they are. This is a 4-hour chart with a bottom, a top, a middle, literally 50%, and then this is the current trend line, which is clearly up. And it remains up. What I would say is that, as you can see on my momentum indicator, 67, let's just call that 5, would be the pivot for the MACD to cross below the zero line, and that for me is a shift of momentum from upside to downside. And that's not far away from price action. And on the very low time frames, you can see, so in the last few hours, in fact, for the whole of Sunday, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend on, this is the 15-minute chart. It's coming back to, on the very low time frames, an area of support that resides somewhere between 67,750. So remember that pivot on the 4-hour MACD, and 68.5. So there's a sort of $1,000 buffer area, which should be support, having been living above it and coming back down to test it. So that's kind of interesting. See what happens there. I'd say that 4-hour closures back below 66,000 and definitely daily closures below 66,000 doesn't look so good for Bitcoin then. And I think that would then change this picture of an uptrend. There would definitely be etchings of a downtrend at that point. So yeah, 6-hour daily closures back below 66,000. You can see that this area here, having put in another low here, which is clearly a higher low, and in line with a sequence of higher lows, this area is quite suspicious as it could be a lower high on some of the lower time frames. I don't think it would be on a daily. Well, debatable on a daily. But 4-hour and below, I'd say you could argue that if price pulls back down below that 66,000 area, then this is going to be a lower high compared to up here. Sort of similar to this area here. So if I draw a circle around. So these are kind of areas where there's a change in character of the trend. And remember, that trend is your friend. So you can see how this was the failed higher high compared to this one, with this as a local low. But it only became that when price closed below here. So if price closes below here, then the same thing will happen. this will be a high, this will be a lower high, but this is a local low, and so a change in trend. And it was indeed this sequence of price action that then led to this downtrend from near the top of the range to make a new range low. We'll see what happens, but I don't think that's particularly unlikely, if I'm honest, particularly as on the 4-hour you can see the momentum will shift to the downside, not too far away from where current price action is. The daily momentum is still, it's still fairly far from the zero line, and therefore don't pay any attention to that number. So the daily momentum is still to the upside. The 4-hour is hanging on by the skin of its teeth, but it won't take too much to shift this down below the zero line. What else was I going to say? Yeah, that's all sort of null and void really. I'd say if Bitcoin starts closing 4 hours of daily back above 70,000, it's not a specific area on the chart, but it's certainly a sort of a round number of significance. And I think if it did start to close dailies back above, start closing 4 hours or dailies back above 70,000, then it would seem quite logical for the next move to be to the upside and that to approach then the current all-time high at 74,000. But I think I'm not so swayed on that at the moment, and I do wonder if this is going to become a local high, which would then be a lower high, as I've explained earlier. All right, quick video for tonight, because I'm very tired, so sorry about that. Anyway, nevertheless, I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please like and subscribe. And you know what? It's Monday tomorrow, beginning of a week, and I'll be doing a video. So if you haven't enjoyed this one, don't come back for next week's, for tomorrow, which is Monday, and therefore the start of next week's price action. Okay, take care. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. See you tomorrow.